that's our verse. We got a 16 bar verse. We're going to put a little hook here. We'll just take a standard, right? It's about half the length of the hook. Again, it doesn't have to be rules. And then we'll probably start a V2 here, but let's just listen. So a lot of times, like there's just a bag of tricks, right? Like you can, after the hook, doing like a little down section is really popular. And again, just feel out what that's going to feel like. In certain songs, it'll maybe feel like it's got to be its own section that we would call like a turnaround in country. Or maybe that's now the beginning of the verse. But what's really cool and exciting, I think, about what newer modern artists do is they don't always pay attention to the arrangement. And so it makes for some really interesting things. I mean, like you can listen to like Travis Scott records, and there's a lot of examples, right, where you can tell like the beat was arranged in a separate way, and then the artist just kind of went on it with their own interpretation and song. And in some cases, it obviously it's a mess, but it actually, in my mind, creates a lot of new, interesting arrangement options, especially in this sort of a shorter time frame of 2 to 3 minutes. It just allows you to have so many different versions of like, oh yeah, the hook doesn't have to sound the same every time, and like you can kind of get into these things more accidentally, really. And so again, by using these things in a way so that like the process works for you and not against you. Like I'm really big on making the process work for me, not the other way around. So let's listen to how long the sound section will be, wrap it up, put a little mix on it, and then this one can go in the archive. So obviously we came in a little too early. It's all good. We're just going to take those down. I really like that section just being down the whole time. I think the artist can kind of interpret that however they want. Another quick and easy trick when you got it like this. So you saw me while we were playing back, just duplicating that track. I can put a general EQ on this. Thank you for this search feature, Pro Tools. My God. So yeah, we can maybe like filter this out. So we're just going to make it thin a little bit. We're going to add, we already have a reverb going on 7 and 8, so I can just put that on there. We're going to verb it out a little bit, throw a little extra delay. I know that that's on 9 and 10 because that's my system. And then we'll put like Sound Toys is really still a great mainstay. And so we'll put Filter Freak on here. And so you can kind of just go to quick, clean resonant down sweep's a good one. We're going to change it to 8 bars. We're going to do a triangle pattern. And so if you hit here on tweak, you can actually see what the pattern is if you want to see some of the more details. But when I mentioned earlier, we were talking about if you're sort of off center on the MIDI time code. So in other words, if you're 1 bar down, this is that problem I was talking about. And so you can actually adjust this so that the filter goes, but so that we can just slap this thing on and go. And then I actually really like to throw a little compression on the back end of it. We'll just have the CLA here, so we'll just use it. But typically probably just something more clean than that, but that'll work for now. So we'll put that on. We're going to add lots of verb. We're going to put that delay on there. The Filter Freak is just working for us, so we don't have to draw in any of that automation or create it on another plugin. Cool. And so that just is a way to spice that section up really quickly, really easily. Just basically thinning out with a little EQ, adding a filter that's automated to go across, throwing some extra verb and delay, squash that thing. And so this is a simple effect that goes a long way with artists. So we're going to go to Audio Suite. Similar to just kind of how on that last snare hit on the 4, we're just going to put a little effect that helps that transition out that's really fast and easy. So we're going to select Verify. This is essentially like it makes the sound of a turntable turning off or a vinyl, slowing down or speeding up. And so what's cool about it, you can leave it as just fit to. Usually I just use the slow down effect. We're just going to hit render. This prints it as audio. Don't worry, you can always peel back here and have your original stuff. And so that's just going to put a little screw on that spot. Right. And so we got a little bit of a pop here. And so just watch those. Those are things you can clean up over time. It's not the end of the world, And so this is, again, like, we didn't talk about it too much, but we will in the next episode about quantizing and really setting yourself up for like workflow success. And so especially at the top of a bar, just quantize that kick right on that thing. And you will just have so much less trouble. And then you can have as much feel as you want between that 4 and 8 bar loop, But as long as you come back to that one really gridded there, you can always work the way I'm working here and just click on any of these boxes or double click them, and you can get them and start moving around and shaping things.